Peace, ma'am. Happy Saturday. It's been so long. It's good to be back. Hey, Indigo. Thanks for joining me. I see Indigo's in the chat. Shout out to Indigo. Check out her channel. Ciao. It's been so much going on. Thank y'all for being here. I have a couple topics to talk about today, but I'll give you a quick update and see if more people come. But yeah, it's kind of wild. I can't believe I think it's definitely been at least 9 months. Because my son he's 9 months old today, so very happy about that. My little bub chub, he's with his dad right now. Um, Child, it went so fast, but I still can't believe it. I still can't believe I'm here now. I also can't believe it's been this long that I haven't been live. There's so many times I wanted to go live, but as many of you guys know, child, parenting is hard work. Indigo, Indigo girl, you know I'm gonna get into some mess too after we talk about the first two topics. We got to get into some of the mess as well. But yeah, it's good to be back. I don't know, so because my schedule is kind of tight right now, I don't know how often I'll be able to go live. I'd like to go live once a week, but I have to get uh somebody has to be watching him. So we shall see. I will try my best. Thank you so much. Yes, he is. He's chilling. My small space, big up, boop, boop, boop. My Caribbean people in the chat. Shout out to y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Also, thank you so much. Just thank y'all for being patient with me with my posting schedule. Indigo and my small space still here supporting, and trust me, I see you and I appreciate you. So thank you for sticking around because I know there's a lot of other people you could be listening to. So shout out to both of you. Shout out to the people in the chat and in the bushes. So we're gonna get into some topics and then we're gonna get into some mess. Also shout out to my number one hater, Blockhead. Okay, Blockhead's busted down universe. Manua say it in the chat. Okay, because you're a stalker. You're a stalker. I'm going to shout her ass out as often as I need to let her creepy stalking ass know that I see you. Okay. My small space. Listen, same here. Same here. She always keeps me accountable. She keeps it real. And she speaks her mind, and I love that about her. Okay. Indigo say, you're one of my faves, be sector content or not. You have a broad of great content, and I'm here for it. Thank you so much, Indigo. That is so encouraging. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I need to hear that. Super encouraging. And I really, really that just helps me to keep going. Sometimes I gotta confess, y'all. Sometimes I'll be wanting to throw in the towel. It's just like, oh man. Especially when certain things happen, you're like, are you serious again? It just gets so discouraging. But I really appreciate y'all so much. You don't even know. So I did go back to work. I think it's been 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks. I'm working part time, so that's been a little bit challenging managing that, but it's also good because it kind of helps me divide my time up a little bit. It's been hard leaving the little guy, um, but I'm happy. I'm happy that I get to go back and see a couple clients here and there. That's been going well. And then I don't know, how are you guys doing? What's up with y'all? I like to chat to my people before we go in. I'll give you one last update before we start. So I decided to make a goal that what is one thing I could do every single day that would change my life over the next year. And so I decided, I've always exercised, but I have periods when I exercise and when I don't, or when it's, intermittent. And so I decided I'm going to exercise every day and I just have to do 10 minutes. I can do more than that, but 10 minutes is what is my minimum. And I've been doing that, guys, every single day since January 1st. Okay. So it's February 11th. I was saying I'm doing pretty good. Often I do it at night when I put my son to sleep. I'll go and do like a quick workout and then I go shower and go to bed. But yeah, I feel good. And before I used to do longer workouts, but it's just hard managing time and getting things done. It just feels like it's something I'm doing for me. It's like my way of getting a little bit of extra self care in. So I don't know what your goals are for this year, but if you feel like sharing them, definitely feel free to drop them down. Let me read these comments. Indigo said, "Trust me, you will grow. I'm not staying in the beef sector." Oh, I know you're not, honey. Your channel is way too polished to stay in just the beef sector. So that I definitely can see that from a mile away. My small space said, "I've seen the story about the ranchers. Oh, my small space is so heartbreaking, and refuse to click on it because I don't want it to disturb my spirit. But I'll listen to your take, sis. It's bad. It's really bad. Even well, yeah, I know I'll be ADHD and I jump ahead, but yes, I agree with you. It's we have to protect our energy. You know what I'm saying? There's stories that I don't watch. I still haven't watched the Tyre Nichols video, not because I don't care, but because I feel like it's just black torture porn, and I'm not here for it. And yeah, anyway, we're gonna get into some of that. So, child, let's get into the story about the Black Colorado ranchers. Okay, let me find my pictures. Let me get it together. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. It's been a little while, so I might be a little slow, but you're gonna have to give me some grace. So anyway, oh, Indigo share her goals. She said, "My goal is to grow other channel, go back to college to finish my human service degree, and move out of New York." Yes, Indigo, we are sending you all of the good energy and sending some prayers your way that you will complete your goals. Those are beautiful, wonderful goals. And I really, really hope that they come into fruition for you. That's awesome. It's exciting to go back to school. It's exciting starting another channel. And girl, I can see why you want to get out of New York because it is crazy. It's crazy. Feel free to share your goals if you want. You're welcome. No, I mean that. That's exciting stuff. That's exciting, exciting stuff. My small space said, "I try to take the stairs at least 150 steps before bed every night." Yeah, see, small goals like that. I'm telling you, it adds up, y'all. It adds up. It really works. So don't skip on your self care or any type of your goals because all of that stuff comes together. So when I saw this story, I was on LSA because I get a lot of my stories from LSA. And I was just like, what? Like, I'm not surprised. It's very disheartening, but it's like, are you freaking kidding me? So this black couple, their names are Nicole and Courtney Mallory. Okay, they live in Hey, Chocolate Bay. Big up to Chocolate Bay. Shout out to one of my members. Okay, Chocolate Bay in the building. Check out his channel. He's back and he's doing content, and I love it. I'm here for it. Child, these black ranchers, Courtney and Nicole Mallory, live in El Paso, Colorado, which I didn't even know there was an El Paso, Colorado. I thought it was just El Paso, Texas. Okay. And they moved there after they were displaced from a hurricane. They moved from Texas, and so that from Houston, Texas, and so they moved to Colorado. They have 1,000-acre farm, guys, 1,000-acre ranch. Okay, so they better go ahead with the damn thing. Oh my gosh, thank you, Indigo. I'm so unprepared. I will have to I have to post it after, child. If I do it now, I need to get that ready. I need to make sure I have my links ready. So I apologize, but I will get that to you, child. 1,000-acre ranch. Okay, and ever since they moved there, they have been the target of all types of heinous crimes and racist attacks. It sounds like they're the only black people, probably people of color in the area. And since they've moved there, they've been harassed. Their animals are showing up dead. Okay, but not just dead. Their animals are getting beheaded. I don't know what's gonna happen if they demonetize whatever. We got to give the details. Beheaded, disemboweled, just all kinds of messed up stuff is happening to the animals. Their fence has been destroyed 10 times. Okay. Now just imagine if you have 1,000-acre ranch. Like, first of all, fences aren't cheap. Fences aren't cheap to, maintain if they get damaged. 1,000-acre ranch. The fence is busted 10 times. Okay. What else is happening? People just come onto their land, just doing all kinds of evil shit. Okay. And all of these neighbors are white and they're racist. Okay. And they don't want them to be there. And it seems like they're trying to, it's not just about chasing them out. They want their land. Like they want their land. They don't like the fact that these people, these black people, have these this 1,000 acres of land. They're doing the damn thing. They're ranching it up. They don't like this. And so it was just so heartbreaking listening to this. The name of their ranch is Freedom Acres Ranch. Okay. Like I said, they're beheading their animals, doing all kinds of stuff, leaving carcasses all over the place. According to the articles that I was reading, yes, it's very shocking, guys. It's bad. Child, I should have warned y'all too about the details. Yeah, that has to be mad expensive because like fences are not cheap. So for that large of a property, it has to be crazy. The quote that I saw in the article for how much damage, and this is, I'm sure it's more than that, is $200,000. That's what the Courtney, that's the husband. Matter of fact, I have some pictures. I had a picture of both of them, but the format was weird, so I couldn't get it to show. But yeah, this is one of the ranchers, okay, in Colorado, and their neighbors are just doing the absolute most. So this has been happening for 2 years. They've been making police reports. The sheriff is in on it. I don't know if it's the sheriff, the deputy, whatever his title is. The head person, the head cop, is also not doing a damn thing. And it gets worse, guys. It gets worse. Okay, letting these people run amok, doing all this stuff. Okay, and I was just thinking when I saw this, I said, this is giving principalities and power. Okay, it's giving principalities and power, spiritual wickedness in high places. Because I'm thinking like that's just white supremacy. That's racism. Okay, that this can happen for 2 years and nothing has been done. Okay, their property's getting destroyed. They're in danger. They said the man, Courtney, wears a body cam around town for his own safety. That's not normal. It's not normal to have to wear a body cam around because you're worried that somebody's going to take your life because you have a ranch. Meanwhile, the other people in the town are ranching it up. They're also providing, think about it, they're providing food for the town. They're also doing a lot of other things. They're a part of the local churches, but we know that don't mean nothing, honey. Okay, don't let me unpack that. It's a hot ass mess, and I'm angry. Okay, and Indigo, I'm surprised it's only 200,000. To be honest, based on the damage. Okay, I will only take their own to stop this. Yes, exactly. My small space. Okay, absolutely. And so obviously the town and the cops have to be in on it for it to be going on for this long and nothing has been done. And then the recent developments, I'm gonna tell y'all. My small space says so they don't want to buy, they want to chase them out. They want to chase them out, and then I think they want to buy it because a lot of times with towns like this, they don't like when outsiders. Well, I don't even want to just say outsiders, but yeah, outsiders is the first layer. But especially if that outsider doesn't look like them. Okay, hey Auntie Donna, if the outsider doesn't look like them, okay, they're gonna be big mad. Okay, the outsider's making money off the land. It's just even the USDA guys. I was reading because y'all know I like to cross reference. Okay, I don't like to just read one article. I like to read multiple articles. And one of the articles was talking about the USDA, how racist they are, and they don't like when black people own mad land. Because if you think about it, okay, when you think about a lot of even just the farms in general and how Monsanto, if you're familiar with Monsanto, how they've infiltrated the food system and they out here making all this like crappy food and GMO foods and stuff and forcing these farmers' hands. That's one layer, okay? Because farmers in general, if you really think about it, a lot of them face marginalization. That's another story. So when you're a black farmer, okay, it's a whole nother layer. Okay. They don't want them owning anything. They don't want them owning anything. I'm actually blown away that they were able to buy this property. Not that they could afford it, but that they were able to get into this town. Have y'all ever seen, even though this is different because there's no racial element to this movie, but have y'all ever seen that hey peace love, have y'all ever seen that show Tread on Netflix? Child, if y'all never seen Tread, I need y'all to watch Tread, okay? So that is an example of when you just poke and poke and poke and poke, and then somebody snaps. Like I said, there's no racial element here, so that's not the comparison. The comparison is these people in the town. There was a lot of nepotism. There was a lot of trying to keep people out, trying to elevate some businesses and keep other businesses down. And this one man was a victim of that, baby. He came out of here. I can't even tell y'all. Like, well, I guess you probably are familiar with it. I'm not going to tell you all the ins and out, but spoiler alert: he ends up taking this big ass tractor that he built, and he mowed the motherfucker down. Okay, the whole town. See, this is it was crazy to me. It was so crazy. But one of the things I try to do is I try to see both sides, and even though that is an absolute ludicrous response to the way he was treated, one side of me was like, you know what? Sometimes you got to mow these hoes down, because there's just what, like, you could try and try and try and try, and it's to no avail. You're not getting any results. And so he was like, okay, you want to keep me out? You want to shut me out? I got something for you, baby. He tore them down. He took his tractor and he mowed that town down to the ground. So watch Tread if you haven't seen Tread. But when I think about this family, this black couple, it makes me feel like, what are our options? What, like, when you hear stories like this, what would you do? And I'm going to go back and read your comments, but what would you do if you were in a situation? Some people might think, oh, well, it's not worth it. I'm going to sell and get out of here. I value my life. But then, that's one option. There's no right or wrong. But then other people might be like, no, I'm not running. I paid for this. This is my 1,000 acres. This is my blood, sweat, and tears. These are my animals. I'm not going to go because some racist ass white people decided that I shouldn't be here and they have a problem. Okay. And see, that's when that's when I'd be activating the altar on them fools. Okay. That's when they want to use the principalities and powers. Okay. And do all this extra stuff. I'm gonna get my principalities and powers. All right. And so that's how I feel about it. I don't know what y'all would do. I would love to hear your thoughts, but these people are giving back to their community. You know, they're just trying to be ranchers just like everybody else, and they're not being permitted to do that. So the most recent development, and then I'm a actually, you know what? Let me read these comments before I give you all the most recent development. So some people look shocked. I need to see the damage. I will follow the story. Yeah, follow the story, guys, and they need support because there's a lot that went down since then. Child, it's a mess. It's a hot mess. My small space says they are not outsiders. People should buy wherever they choose. Absolutely, I agree with you. If they want to buy him out. Indigo said, I have a Netflix account, but I don't watch movies. My daughter uses it. Maybe you'll watch it because you recommend it. I'm telling y'all, it's a key. I bet you peace love. Have you seen Tread? Actually, it was my business partner. She recommended it. I never heard of it. And it happened in the States. And I'm like, how comes this isn't a bigger story? And apparently at the end of the documentary, they share something. Somebody died. It was, hey, Miss Tiva. Shout out to Miss Tiva. I don't know if it was a president that died. Somebody died. Something happened, and that's why the story got overshadowed. He built a massive tank and he mowed down his enemies. Okay. He got him, guys. It was bad. Anyway, you will be thoroughly entertained / disturbed. Let me take some sip of water here, but so I'm gonna give you guys the latest development. Okay, let me consult my notes. So as of 2/7, it might have been shortly before that. Apparently, Courtney and Nicole were both arrested. Okay, by the local police. Let them tell it. They said they're being arrested on felony charges of stalking. Oh, the irony. Okay. And, that they damaged some stuff. Absolutely ridiculous. These people have been victimized for 2 years. And now the sheriff of the town is arresting them. And they haven't messed with anybody. Like, it's so crazy. Like, it definitely reeks of, you're trying to mess with these people's lives. You're trying to tear these people down. It's so infuriating. It's so infuriating when I read this. And please, if you come across the story, I think there's a video of Courtney Mallory on Twitter. If you have Twitter, share out the video. Let the story grow because people need to learn what's happening. This is absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And y'all know and this isn't my words, this is Adrian Expression. Shout out to Adrian Expression. He said this years ago, and I absolutely agree with him. He talked about being Malcolm X to the bullshit. Okay, he compared Martin Luther King and then Malcolm X, and he said, I'm Malcolm X to the bullshit. And if you want another example, he compared Magneto and Xavier, who are fake, obviously, characters, and he was like, I'm Xavier. I'm Magneto to the bullshit. Okay, so what does that mean? That means sometimes you can't fight nicely when you're in this situations like this. You have to go hard. You have to be aggressive. If what you want is to defend what you have, you can't play, nicey with situations like this. Because if you have the sheriff in that town deciding that they're gonna try to rig up charges against these people on behalf of the townspeople, even though they've been reporting for 2 years that they've been harassed, that their animals have been tortured, mutilated, all kinds of horrible things, that their property is getting destroyed. Actually, I forgot to say this. They also tampered with their surveillance system. They have a surveillance system all over, and somebody jammed, well, not somebody, it repeatedly happened where they would jam the surveillance system so they can't see who's doing it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's bad. It's really, really bad. So these people got arrested. Now, I was trying to find an update as to where they are right now, what's going on. I know that on the 17th, it seems like they must have been released, but they're still facing these charges, these fake charges. On the 17th, there's going to be a protest. I'm guessing it's like in the area for the Black farmers in that area. Please raise awareness. Please get the word out, okay? Because this is just crazy. Like, this is unacceptable, and I'm not shocked. I really wish I could say I'm shocked, but it's America, okay? And this is what they do. I'm just going to go ahead and read these comments. Indigo said, no, really? Where can I find the story at? My Small Space. So I'm going to tell you guys, initially I found it on LSA, and the name of it was like, let me tell you the title of the article that I read, or link, the thread. It was Get Out. Black Colorado ranchers face domestic terrorism by local whites who say they are trying to steal their land. One of the sources that I cross-referenced was, it's called thesource.com. So thesource.com has an article dated February 7th, and that was the article in which they talked about these people getting arrested. There was another article I came across, but I clicked out of it. It's not up there anymore. So there's a few websites reporting on the story if you want to find more information, but we got to get this word out, because these people, not only is their property in danger from all of this domestic terrorism, but it sounds like their physical lives are in danger. They're trying to intimidate them. Okay, it's the same thing, from back in the day when they would be throwing stuff in people's windows, trying to light stuff on fire. It's just, it's so exhausting. It's so exhausting and infuriating. If you have IG, I can send it to you. Yeah. Are you talking to Indigo? My Small Space? Your youngest goes to predominantly white private schools, so I'm interested in the story. Yes, you youngest goes, sorry. Yeah, it's really crazy. Really, really crazy. Okay, yeah, you guys are networking, my bad. It was bad. They stood and watched, but another one came out where it seemed like she retaliated. Yeah, Miss Tiva, it's so upsetting. Like, could you imagine? You're just trying to live your life. This is a very noble, awesome field to be in. Doing this work, I mean, you're feeding the nation, you're feeding your community, and here come these assholes. Okay, they're just butthurt. They don't want to see Black people owning anything. They don't want to see Black people doing it big. And so they got to destroy it. They got to tear them down, and they got to try to scare them. And it's sad. I need to follow the story because I lived there for years. Wow. Miss Tiva, wow, I didn't see. I like I said, I didn't even know that there was an El Paso, Colorado. I saw El Paso, and I was like, "It's not in Texas," and yeah, I was surprised. Because isn't my understanding about Colorado? I thought Colorado was more liberal and more progressive. That's what I thought about Colorado, but I guess it depends on where you are in Colorado. Child, this is a mess. So please pray for Courtney and Nicole, okay? Or send them good vibes, whatever it is that you're gonna do. Because hey, being true love, this is absolutely unacceptable and infuriating. And I can't. Like, I want to get more hype, but I'm gonna get a headache. Because when I read stories like this, the stuff that goes through my mind is just like, are you freaking kidding me? And I'm really glad that I didn't come across people saying, "Hey Mia," I'm glad I didn't come across people saying like, "Oh yeah, well they chose to go live around a bunch of white people." This is like, you can't let that stop you from living your dream. If they want to be ranchers, there's only so many places that you can go buy that amount of land. And if it happens to be around other ranchers, why can't they be there? Why shouldn't they be there? Why should they be stopped? Because these racist ass people got their panties in a bunch. That's not their problem. You know what I'm saying? It's a mess. So keep I'm gonna keep an eye on the story. It sounds like there'll be more developments coming up here. But that's what I got for you right now. They got arrested. I'm guessing they got released. This article didn't do a good job giving an update as to what happened after, because this is from the 7th. But all I know is that they're trying to get them on felony charges, and it just sounds rigged. It's just sounding real ignorant. And so I actually think this is a bigger story. People might get mad because we're going to transition into the Tyre Nichols story, but I think this is a bigger story than Tyre Nichols, because I feel like this is happening right now. These people are still alive, and I'm sure there's a lot of black ranchers that face this kind of shit. Move around the basis area, it's more diverse. More around the basis area, it's more diverse. Okay, Miss Tiva. Being True Love said, many don't know if you agree to farm the land most anywhere, the government will pay you to be there. Absolutely. So, Being True Love, thank you for sharing that. There's a lot that goes into U.S. agriculture, and I touched on this very briefly earlier, how sometimes these farmers' hands are tied. Okay, and this is how you have people like Monsanto who can come in and take over and be real rapey with their practices. What happens is that other settlers decide they want the area, and they will come bully bump another out. Yep, and sometimes they even try to do eminent domain nonsense. It's crazy. It's just, you know, it's really wild, because when you really, really think about it, like, it makes me think back to the indigenous people of America, and like, look at how the country was created. Okay, these people were there, and here come hoes like Columbus. Okay, talk about doctrine of discovery and shit. How you gonna? And I said this before in another life. How you gonna discover some shit that's already been discovered? This is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? The nerve. I'm actually in Canada, Being True Love. I'm in Canada, but I used to live in the States. Um, it's just so crazy. It it's and this is the politics of America, right? It's like they see shit. If we want it, we're gonna have it, and we're gonna come up with some bullshit reasons about why we can procure this, and it even comes down to people's lands, and it's very sad. Indigo said exactly, Being True Love. Miss Tiva said, because they never truly owned the land, the government owns it. Exactly. Absolutely. Very infuriating. Very infuriating. It's just, oh, Being True Love said, I have gone down that rabbit hole. Ooh, do share if you feel comfortable. But yeah, it's sad that the government could do all this stuff. And like I said, I talked about the USDA, how I came across that in an article, how they're often supporting this mess. They're often they don't want black farmers. They don't want black farmers to own all that land. Too much power. hmm My small space said, but I wouldn't want to be around them. But I'm assuming they just want to bully them out and not buy it. Oh no, they're gonna buy it. Trust me, they're not just bullying them out. If they don't buy it, they got another white farmer lined up to buy it, to make sure that this never happens again. Like I can almost see the play in my head. It's not just gonna be there sitting. They got a plan. Okay. Just like the man from Tread, um, when he was in that town, because what happens is that it's a small town and it's like one main family who's run a lot of stuff and they have a lot of influence and they were like on the I want to say city council. So nothing could get done if these people didn't want it done. And that included pushing people out and displacing people in many ways. And he was a victim of that. And like this is why I said I'm not advocating for people to go mow down towns. But so from a psychological perspective, I absolutely think that reaction is absurd. But when you really think about it, you can understand when you push people to their limits and they feel I literally have no other choice, then they snap and then they do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. Miss Tiva said they don't. Being true love. I decided to come back out. I was deep into that understanding. I did some videos on my channel about it. Okay, I'll check it out. Being true love. One is called Message from the Universe, and the other one is Human Development Part 1. Ooh, that sounds like my type of content. Indigo said, see, me and my husband are thinking about moving to Canada. I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna do a video on the energy of Canada, okay? Because I've learned so much about the energy of specific towns and places and countries, but we'll talk about that another time. It's so much that's going on in the States, and there's racism everywhere. But when I tell you, America, being out of America has really opened my eyes a lot. A lot. Okay. Although Canada has its own issues, which it does, so far I can see the good outweighs the bad. I'm gonna have to agree with Indigo on that. I've been here for how long has it been? Since 2019. It's just crazy. Being true love. It's a heavy energy to be in. Ooh, yes. It's a heavy energy to be in. I try not to focus on it anymore because when I saw this live, I clicked almost instantly. Being true love. Okay, you're making too much sense, honey. Y'all know. See, Miss Tiva knows. PC loves that content. I do. I love that type of content. So I'm definitely going to be checking you out. Let me write it down because Lord have mercy. When I come off this live, child, I'll be forgetting stuff. So if you've been here for a while, you know I stay taking notes. So you guys check out Being True Love. It sounds like some good content. But yeah, the energy is definitely a thing. I figured it out since moving here. And I've always paid attention to energy of places, but I was more paying attention to like houses. Like if I would go to a certain house or a certain building or a certain event, then I could like kind of feel, okay, this is energy is different. But I didn't realize that the energy of geographic locations was also different. So depending on where you are, you could kind of feel like, yo, this feels different. It's something different going on here. And when I tell you, whenever I fly into America, okay, whenever I fly into America, that energy is not feeling good. That's all I'm gonna say. Because like I said, that's a whole video. It's different. It's oppressive. It's wild. Anyway, I learned that we get more of whatever we focus on. I decided to shift my focus and life is good. Yes, and we're gonna get into another topic, and I'm gonna tell you guys about some of that as well. So if you guys have any other thoughts and feelings about the Black Ranchers, please share. I'll always read it. I always go back and read it. Like I said in the beginning of this live, I did not watch the Tyre Nichols video. I intentionally didn't watch it because while I believe it's important and to pay attention to things like that, I also am one of those people who believe that the media and the government intentionally blow up certain type of stories to re-traumatize and psychologically fuck the minds of Black people. I said it. Okay, they're waging psychological warfare against us. It's not just about destroying Black and brown bodies, it's about destroying Black and brown minds. So if they can't get your body, okay, they're going to put a video on loop of a Black man getting his life snuffed out. Don't watch that shit repeatedly. In fact, I encourage you, don't watch it at all. You don't need to watch the Tyre Nichols video to know that this is some fuckery and that the police system needs revamping. You don't need to watch what was the last one I saw? Yeah, George Floyd. You don't need to watch that to see that white supremacy is a problem in this in America and in the world, and that things need to change. I will encourage you not to watch that shit, okay? Because there's something called vicarious trauma. Okay, now listen to me. I'm not trying to say other people don't have trauma. I'm talking specifically about Black trauma. Okay, Black trauma is intergenerational. All right, there's a lot of research and there's a lot of stuff about epigenetic stuff that talks about, the trauma of your ancestors and slavery, and how that is encoded in our DNA. So a lot of that stuff is already getting carried down. Okay, then as your own individual person, you face different things, bigotry, racism. And then you're also, the third layer is vicarious trauma, which would be an example of watching a video of Tyre, you know, and well, even though it wasn't racism, but it's the system of the police. The police system has a lot of issues. Part of it's racism, and part of it's just an abuse of power. Okay, you don't need that shit in your system. You got to realize when they're trying to mess with you. I'm not saying you shouldn't stay up to date. I'm not saying you shouldn't pay attention to what's going on. What I'm saying is you have to pay attention and protect your energy and realize, what should I be intaking? I didn't post anything about Tyre Nichols at all. And the only reason why I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to talk about it next. I didn't post nothing about it. Did I send that brother well wishes and hope and wish that he rest in peace? Yes, I did. Okay. Was I saddened that his life was taken? Absolutely. Was I angry? Absolutely. But I didn't focus on it and I didn't watch the video. I don't need that in my life. I don't need to see, the creative ways they're coming up with to take out Black lives. No, thank you. No, ma'am. No, sir. Okay. That's my little rant about that piece before we go in here. Let me read some of these comments. Oh, I read that. I'm sorry. I went up there. Just a mess. I'm happy I live in Jamaica and there's only classism. Yup. My small space, man, we got to do like a live on that. They know better than to play with people here. Winner Techno chat. Okay. My small space. Tell them again. Okay. Let me tell you something. Because our ancestors, they don't play that crap. Okay. They was out here burning plantations and shit. Anyway, that's a whole nother life. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. But my small space, I second that. Okay. So yes, the energy of the place is very significant. Very significant. Indigo said, if we make the decision to move to Canada, I will definitely let you know when we decide. Yes, let me know. Let me know. I'll tell you our province I'm in. It will take some time, but we're doing research. Also, being true love, I'm going to sub to your channel. Yes, check out Being True Love's channel. So I'll give you a tip about Canada. If you're getting let's say you come in through the working one, submit your stuff as soon as you can because it takes a while. Submit your paperwork, especially now after COVID, like things are backed up. But let me tell you, Canada, I wouldn't trade it. I really wouldn't. No place is perfect, and like I talked about before, there's stuff everywhere, racism, marginalization, but like there's a lot. Just the way Canada takes care of their citizens is just on another level. Like it's crazy, guys. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So let me move along because y'all know I'll get distracted. Miss Tiva, you know it. No, don't watch it. Don't watch that stuff. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna get in your spirit. Absolutely, very true. We'll experience trauma, and it's embedded in our DNA. Absolutely, and yeah, they are brainwashing us. They're trying to program us to be fearful. Like when you're scared all the time. So, as a trauma therapist, I'm gonna break it down for you. When you're what the way trauma affects you, if it's not healed, right? If it's super triggered, is that you're going to be reactive to situations that you might not need to be reactive to, right? Like our bodies are set up to respond to assess dangerous situations. So like, the thing with the spider, maybe because, there's some like poisonous ass spiders out here and it's taking out a bunch of our ancestors and your brain's like, hey, that spider's going to get you. So you might be scared. But when you're traumatized, you're responding to everything. You're responding to not just the spider that's on the floor. You see a picture of the spider and you think the spider's going to get you. You see like anything. You smell something that like, Trauma messes up your brain, and it keeps you in a place of fear, and it actually changes the way that your brain processes information. Okay, and so that's the reason why you want to give your brain a fighting chance. Don't watch that shit, period. Don't watch that shit, because we already have other stuff that we have to deal with, that we're working through. And when you're intaking all of that vicarious trauma, you're not giving yourself a fighting chance. You can learn about it, you can like hear the story, you can read about it, or just be informed. You don't need to watch it. I mean, there's something, I don't know the science behind it, but there's something about watching the actual video. It's very different than just reading. Don't get me wrong, if you read certain things, it can still re-traumatize you, but watching the video is different. The government does not loop white people getting killed on TV. Where do they do that at? Do you see them looping white people getting killed? No, they do it with black people. Okay. Indigo said there are things that are coming out that he made disparaging tweets and posts. Yup, we gonna get into it about black women and praises white women. So a lot of people are now feeling sorry, aren't feeling sorry for Tyree. That's what we're gonna get into. Yes, we do a live in Canada, please. Yeah, on Canada, I will. Yes, it is psychological stimuli. There you go. There you go, Miss Tiva. Okay, so let's get into Tyree. So first, let me say, rest in peace to Tyree. Okay, no matter what people dig up about people, um, I'm never gonna sit here and be like, oh my gosh, she deserved it. Because here's the thing, that man's life got snuffed out by police officers, okay, who were supposed to serve and protect, period. It didn't have anything to do with his colorist tweets, which we're going to get into. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to say. Um, the other thing I want to say is I will never get mad. At first, I was getting upset when I saw people posting they were posting videos about Tyree's colorist tweets and social media posts. And I was like, why are people doing this? Like, this man just died. Why are people like this? You're taking away from the actual problem. And then I really thought about it, and I'm like, well, they're both problems. Him writing colorist tweets and the police being absolutely savage as fuck are both problematic. And why can't people talk about both of them simultaneously? And so that's kind of where I am. That I still feel like it takes away from. I do feel like it takes away from the fight of revamping policing, but I have decided that if that's how people feel, they can talk about it, because both of those things exist, right, in space and time. So why not talk about what he did? However, I'm not going to say because he did that he deserved to die. That's crossing the line. I don't believe that. It's same thing with Christian Obama Sully. Okay, they found out he had did a bunch of racist colorist tweets, and people were like, oh, that's what he got killed by his white lover. I'm never going to cheer that on. I think you can address and call it out without saying, oh, this person deserved that. And especially in this case, Tyree's colorist tweets do not equal police brutality. Okay. It's been a while since I've taken algebra, but I think you know where I'm going. It's not making sense to me. That comparison isn't making any sense to me. So let's get into it. So after Tyree died, some tweets have been dug, some people dug up some tweets about him, and I'm going to read some of them here, and some of them are a bit intense, so some fair warning here. I have never wondered this in my life. Do dark-skinned girls have good ussy or nah? I'm going to read that again. I have never wondered in my life, do dark-skinned girls have good ussy or not? And let me put up a picture. I'm going to put up a picture of him. Did I ever? I might not have posted. I might not have even uploaded it. Nope, I sure didn't. Oh well, y'all know what he looked like. I'm sure y'all have seen all of the news articles and stuff. So that's him already downing dark-skinned women and talking about their vaginas and their ability to have sex. Second one. Truth is, there's a reason I don't talk to dark-skinned bitches. That is from Tyre Nichols. And then the last one, it's not the last of all of them. It's just the ones that I had enough, like I cared enough to write down. Throwback is to the happiest day of my life, where my white son basically, so he was with a white woman. I don't know if he was until his death, and I guess he had a son by a white woman. And he said the happiest day of his life was when he realized his skin, his the complexion of his son's skin was white. Guys, I'm pausing because I want y'all to really hear what I'm saying. So people found that and they were not impressed. Okay, now a bunch of black women, okay, they were just, they weren't having it. They weren't having it. Just like when they found the Toby Obamseli tweets and social media posts. Okay, they felt bad for him, and then they were like, oh hell no. Okay, now Tyre Nichols, this is very, again, I like to break things down and I like to think about what's really going on for people. And when I read these tweets, I saw a picture of him. He's a dark skinned black man. And in one of his pictures, he's with a white woman. Not, and who cares that he's with a white woman? My problem is when you're downing your own race, okay, and uplifting another race, okay, because you hate yourself. And so what I saw was a man who hated himself. What I saw was a dark skinned man who loathed the fact that he had dark skin. And he also projected that onto black women. Okay. I don't know what, if there's probably more to it than that, but that's what I saw. There's no way this man loved himself when he was birthed by a black woman and he's going around saying, okay, talking about, do dark skinned women have good ussy, and calling them dark skinned bitches. Okay, there's a whole bunch of black women, and this is how he's reduced us, to those two things, to the worth of our vaginas and our skin. Okay, that reeks of self-hate and disrespect. But this was a man who didn't love himself. And you know what else was the nail in the coffin? When he celebrated the fact that his his son's skin tone, his son by a white woman, his son's skin tone was white. That's weird. So that means you got with the white woman because you wanted a light skin. Like, it was very strange, very strange, very disturbing. He needed to go sit on somebody's shirt, but I still maintain that I don't think this is a reason for people to say, oh, well, he deserved it. I think we have to separate certain things. You know what I'm saying? I actually think Toby's situation is more connected to his death because he bashed black women and he exalted white women and was subsequently killed by a white woman. There's a lot more in common there with that story than this story. This story, like I said, police brutality is an ongoing issue. And don't y'all think it's strange? We're not making excuses for these trash ass cops. Let me give my little disclaimer. Don't y'all think it's strange that the first police brutality crime in a short period of time, or in eons, I should say, resulted in them terminating 5 black cops? Because when I heard that they got fired with the quickness, swiftly, and professionally, shout out to Justin J. Okay, I was like, okay, maybe the George Floyd stuff did change things because they fired their asses quick. And then when I saw the pictures, I said, okay, that's why they fired them real quick. See, these are the sacrificial lambs. Are they trash? Absolutely. Are they brutal cops that need to be like, they needed to lose their job? Absolutely. But I want you to pick sense out to nonsense, because they him and ha when it's white cops that kill black people. Oh, he's with his dad. I don't know. I might have to get off of here soon. um, they pick and choose, and they him and ha, and they drag their feet when it's white cops that do this. But they immediately fired these black cops. Okay, what does, like, to me it's weird, guys. That's weird to me. Okay, so I hope y'all are paying attention to this, but I wanted to bring this up because I felt like sometimes we work against ourselves. That, I feel like police brutality affects us on such a large scale. Is it worth? Is it really worth changing the narrative to talk about the colorist tweets. And I decided, I'm like, well, you know what? You could do both. You could talk about both. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second, I'll come back and see if we can talk about the mess. But hold on. Oh, poor little bub trouble. Okay, I'm gonna have to go soon, guys. Child, how long has it been? It's been almost an hour, but I guess he's getting hungry, so I'm gonna have to go feed him soon. But let me read these comments real quick. Let's see. We have my small space said, I'm the queen of do not recommend. I don't even watch beef sector videos. Yeah, I love my small space. She said they both bad, so it's best not to speak on it if they are only take the negative side of it. What I can say is that that beating seemed personal without even watching. It sounded personal to me too, based on how they described it. Yes, that's clear self-hate. Absolutely, it's self-hate. That's clearly self-hate, hence why I don't even engage in discussion. I still don't deserve and still don't deserve that. Yeah. And to me, I'm gonna say this real quick and then we'll talk very quickly about one topic, one messy topic. But I feel like this, like you said, still don't deserve that. Engage in this discussion. I feel like it's pointless sometimes to go into the discussion with these men, because to me, I'm like, well, if I was single, that's not somebody I would date. Like I don't understand women who throw themselves at Chris Brown, like dark skinned women, because Chris Brown is mad colorist, and then get mad. Don't get mad. It's a gift. When you find out that a man is like that, you walk away and you never look back. Okay? They're missing out. You're not missing out. You don't want somebody like that. Do you really want somebody that is hateful to themselves and is hateful to you? Like that is not that you shouldn't be angry about it, because you could still be angry that they're speaking like this, but I'm never going no, just keep it moving. Thank you for exposing the dirty mongrel that you are so that I can keep it moving. Absolutely not. So that's how I feel about those type of men. But anyway, that's all I got for you with Tyre Nichols. I'm gonna briefly talk about um I did a video recently. Exactly. If you know they're like that, ignore the crap out of them. That's how I've always been. You don't got to tell me twice, okay? I go where I'm celebrated. Period. I will never understand that. Never understand. Um, so I did a video and I talked about how and then we're gonna wrap up how Rob Rack got rearrested. And one of the things I wanted to say, I did this on my community post, and I wanted to say this. I I was in the chat for the first 30 minutes. I'd like never watch his videos. I just wanted to see what he was gonna say because he came back from jail. And I noticed that there were people encouraging this man to drink. Now, disclaimer, any sip or drops of liquid that he chose to put to his head, he chose it. Nobody made him do it. But that was when I saw that people were actually encouraging this man to drink. And I thought, why would you encourage an alcoholic who just got out of jail to drink? And these weren't people who were claiming to be his enemies. These were people that like clearly were looking to be entertained. And that was when I was like, some people really wicked and bad. They see this man just get out of jail and they really up here encouraging him to drink. Like, that's when it really hit me, guys. It really, really hit me. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, people will get their ratchet entertainment at all costs, even if it means encouraging you to jump off the cliff. And again, this isn't their fault because he's the one who's making these decisions. But I don't know if any of you guys noticed that, but I peeped game and I was like, this is also parallel to the people in the beef sector who and other sectors who encourage people to do certain things. And they'll pump them up. They'll pump them up and they'll pump them up. Excuse me. Oh, I gotta go. And then before you know it, all hell breaks loose. And then they are like, oh man, I got a frog in my throat. Excuse me. All hell breaks loose. And then they are like, oh, I don't got nothing to do with it. I don't got nothing to do with it. It wasn't, oh, why are they doing this? Like, I see this time and time again. So just like I said in my community post, people really need to pay attention to who they're performing for. Okay, because some of these people, you know those people who, like, the higher the death count of a tragedy, the more excited they get. That's what it feels like with some of these situations online. I feel like people are waiting and chomping at the bit for something crazy to pop off. And every time it gets worse, they're hoping for something more worse. Somebody got in a fight and got arrested. Somebody waved a gun around and got arrested. They're waiting for a murder to happen. That's what they're waiting for. And that's when I was just like, oh no, absolutely not. It's the plug needs to be pulled. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I gotta go, child. Um, he's not having it. And I need to go feed him. So I hope you guys have a really awesome, awesome Saturday and rest of the weekend. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope to be back soon, sometime within a week. Um, and have more topics. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. And let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next video. I can't play no outro music, child, because my son's gonna be mad. So I love y'all. Happy Saturday. Bye. I'm coming, Kwame.